action. This feeling deep inside of me. I feel like you're not as excited for this as I am.
No, I'm definitely very excited. Yeah.
Where are we? What are we talking about?
Feeling today.
We're on number 10. The 10th movie. How many franchises have 10 movies? The 10th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And when this was announced, everyone gave out a resounding, what the fuck is that? Guardians of the Galaxy. Has anyone heard of it prior to this? Not really. Just the biggest hardcore nerds. I watch a lot of cartoons. I read a lot of comics. They said Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, what? I don't know what that is.
If you don't know what it is, then nobody knows what it is.
I did a lot of research prior to the film coming out, but when it was announced, yeah. What? And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, well, it looks like they're going to have Groot, which is a talking tree that can say 3 words. They're going to have a talking raccoon with a big gun, and they're going to have Star-Lord, who's a human, and Gamora, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like,
Vin Diesel's going to voice the tree.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's going to voice the tree. You're going to have Bradley Cooper as a raccoon. I was like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
This is not.
Come on, Marvel, what's going on? But then we get the trailers, and it's like, done.
Who are you? Star-Lord. Who? Star-Lord, man. Come on. Legendary outlaw. I think that was in like the first trailer, and then of course they had Blue Sweet, Hooked on a Feeling, just to set you up for it. And everybody, before the movie even came out, everyone was ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, like getting hyped on the use of the song. This movie kind of came out of nowhere, and it was a phenomenally good time.
It's James Gunn, right?
Good job. Yes.
Yeah, he definitely did a good job with his soundtrack research for the film, for sure. Another,
kind of like the Russo brothers, another indie director. He was known for Slither. Did you ever see Super with Dwight Schrute?
Dude, yeah.
That's James Gunn.
Super, when he's in line.
They should have called the movie Super Fucked.
Yeah, dude, that movie's fucked up. And then he goes in his car and puts a suit on, and he's walking towards the guy, and he goes, I just saw you put that. Dude, that movie's messed up. But now going back to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so we get introduced to Peter Quill right at the beginning of the movie. It actually, for
Chris Pratt.
Crisp Rat.
What an interesting pick for a person.
Okay, yeah, everyone knew him as Andy
Dwyer from Parks and Recreation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He was the funny, chunky guy. And he's still funny, not chunky.
Going back, I mean, considering what I am now, he wasn't very much chunky, but still the transformation is incredible. Yeah. Going from like where he was to what he is in the film, it's night and day difference for sure.
For the 5 people out there in the world that haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, just in case you're watching our show, we're introduced to Peter Quill at age, I want to say roughly 10. And it actually starts out on a pretty somber note. He's in the hospital. His mom's dying. He refuses to say, goodbye to her. She's reaching out, take my hand. And he doesn't want to because he knows that that's accepting that he's going to lose her. And then she passes, and he just, screams, runs out of the hospital. Spaceship shows up. Plot twist. It thickens. Sucks him up. And then we flash forward to him on Morag. That's right. I remember the name of the planet.
Interesting. Okay, Star Wars.
That's just how many times I've seen this, because I remember how the planet is referenced in conversation in the movie. I'm here on Morag, and neither orb nor are you. Sorry.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
And then we get the Redbone, Come and Get Your Love song, and we get introduced to Star-Lord really as a character. Peter Quill grown up, and the way he dances while he's doing his Indiana Jones hunt through the catacombs or whatever this is on this planet, looking for this orb, which we don't know anything about yet at this point in the film. And the second he gets, so he does a very Indiana Jones type thing. The way he throws down the device and it like sucks the thing out of it just reminds me of Indiana Jones with his bag of sand swapping out the...
Yeah.
It felt very reminiscent of that. But then we get Korath the Pursuer, played by Jaimon Hounsou, and that's where you get one of the most famous punchlines, which is, who are you? Star-Lord, man. Yeah.
who?
Yeah.
We do that all day.
everyone's familiar with that. And we get a really cool chase scene, and then we just get introduced to the beautiful visuals. Do you remember that shot of like right when he's jumping towards its ship, and it does like the slow motion, like kind of 3D shot, and you see all the raindrops in his mask, which is got like the glowing red eyes and everything. This movie was clearly shot very cinematically and different than a lot of what we had seen in the Marvel Universe, and just the colors. The colors popped more than they ever have in a film before. For sure. And the use of music. And so we leave that planet, and I think shortly after that point we get introduced to Yondu, which is the person that originally abducted him. And they slowly just one by one start introducing these Guardians as separate characters. Gamora is being sent by Ronan to receive this orb, which we will find out is an Infinity Stone, which we have brought up a little bit in the past videos with Thor: The Dark World and Avengers and such. But yeah, just some of the things that you love about this movie.
I love that this movie was such a big surprise, and I love that they introduce like a hard comedy element to a movie. When they're escaping from prison and Rocket goes, I'm going to need this, it's like a battery cell and something else in a leg, right?
Yeah, I'm going to need that guy's leg.
Yeah, that guy's leg. And he's like, it's very important that we get the battery last because it's going to speed up the time. And then Groot just, like, as he's saying it. And he goes,
or we can do it now.
and then Star-Lord goes, I got the leg. And he's like, oh, I was kidding about the leg.
He's like, I had to transfer 25,000 credits for this.
And then he tries to do it later with the guy's eye. Like, and Star-Lord's like, no, we don't need it. We don't need it. Just the humor that that Rocket has, when
we forgot I'm sorry.
sorry.
I didn't know
how
this thing works.
Oh, fuck it, whatever.
Machine, I'm sorry.
he didn't. Yeah. So we both blew it.
Rewind. He's better at it.
I don't.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Or when he's talking about the movie Footloose. And he has
there's a great hero
a whole town with sticks up their butt, and
Who put those sticks?
Who put the sticks in their butt?
No, it's a figure of that is cruel. Never mind.
And all the interactions with Drax too are great.
I am not a thesaurus.
Yeah, do not ever call me a thesaurus. And gosh, what's the other one? Oh, this when he's trying to explain cutting his throat, and he goes,
"Why would I put the finger?
Why would I put my finger across his throat?" It's just there's a lot of great comedy in it that lands on its feet well, and at the same time the movie itself is just an all-around fantastic film. The characters are great. Nobody feels underused.
I think this might be your Winter Soldier because I feel like you have it so better well memorized than I do, as much as I do love it.
I don't. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't. But see, Guardians of the Galaxy was my first. See, I had been watching these films, right? I had always been a comic book fan. I had always liked, stuff. But I was way more into Spider-Man and X-Men, previously than anything. And so I had watched these films, and I was happy about them. I was happy about the Avengers. But Guardians of the Galaxy was the first one that was like, holy shit, I think that might be my new favorite.
Right.
Like, that one really surprised me. Like, it's so good. I think that I might have a new favorite comic book movie. When previously I was just waiting for the next X-Men movie to come out. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. What else do you have to say about it? We get into the Infinity Stone. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we get to meet Benicio del Toro as the Collector, and he gives us a lowdown. This is the first time the Infinity Stone's been broken down. He talks about the concentrated ingots that were older than the beginning of this universe and time.
I really got to work on my posture, man. I have shitty posture.
So we get to find out all about those. We find out that inside this little orb is the Power Stone, which just single-handedly has the ability to wipe out all life on a planet just by, coming in contact with the ground. Ronan wants to get his hands on it. Ronan obviously being the villain. A lot of things happen in between. We get our first full-fledged scene of Thanos, and we get to see Josh Brolin as Thanos in that. And just... I love the line from him about return to me again empty-handed and I'll bathe the starways in your blood. He really knocks Ronan down several pegs. Refers to him as boy. So that was a great scene that they just kind of, it was kind of like last minute that they put it in there, but it worked really well. And then we have the big fight on Xandar with all the ships and everything. We get to see the team really coming together. And throughout the film, just great use of 80s and 70s classic songs.
The soundtrack is perfect, and it's songs that, you know, you grew up listening to, but they're not really a callback for you.
Right.
You know, they're not on your iPod. I mean, they might be on some people's if you still have an iPod.
You like pina colada.
But they're all great songs, and that's what, you know, like, that's why I occasionally listen to the local classic rock radio station, because it'll give me that refresher course on, like, yes, the heart and soul of music, like, this is what it is. And James Gunn did such a good job putting together that playlist.
It's one of the first times that music actually plays an integral role in the film. Like,
and we see that again,
his mixtape,
hard in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But another great thing about Guardians of the Galaxy is Michael Rooker's character, Yondu.
Yep. Bobble.
The way that they made his arrow work, and just right, because my understanding is he's just an archer in the comics, right? He doesn't have. You know, it doesn't work the way it did. That's some cool creative shit, and that was one of the coolest things about that film. It's just all those murders, just like with this arrow that he controls with his fin on his head. It's really cool, and it is such a good character. Star-Lord's humor and like aloofness. Gamora, Nebula, and Drax being more these serious, grounded, no humor, grounded characters stuck in the middle of a comedy, essentially. And then there's, which in turn bring the comedic relief. Yeah. And then there's the obvious Rocket Raccoon, who's basically a clown. You know, the class clown, rather, of the movie.
A bomb? You were going to put it in a box? Or no, it was just like, and you leave it lying around. I was going to put it in a box. What's a box going to do? Yeah, there's a lot of great interaction with Rocket, of course. And just, I think another thing that really stands out to the movie is how do they overcome the villain by, I'm distracting you, you big turd blossom.
Oh, the dance off.
Dance off, bro.
Dance off.
You and
what
me.
Are you doing?
Ooh, child, things getting easier. Yeah. Break it down now, hard.
And then we find out that he can hold an Infinity Stone
temporarily. Yeah, it starts tearing them apart. But like most people, we saw the one person in the collector's room touch it and pretty much blow up instantly. And he's actually holding on to it, and then they share the power amongst themselves.
And then we are Groot.
Oh my god, Groot!
Which is another thing that this movie does so well. Not only does it introduce an entire new set of characters.
It's like Avengers with no setup.
Right, it's an entire new set of characters. There's no relatability, and in all new characters, it fully forms all these characters. It does comedy. It does a serious sense of danger, and it does the feels.
It brings you the feels. Delivers the feels.
And I think that this movie is just an outstanding achievement in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for all those reasons.
And I personally think that's a great note to leave off on, is that you nailed it right there. Yeah. That's the point, is it's they took one of, like, not even B grade, this is D grade, C level comics from the black hole of nobody cares, and they delivered a movie that is a lot of people still, even at this point, even with the second one coming out, this is their favorite Marvel movie, and I allow that. I disagree, but it's in my top 5 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
If I could say that. And out of 18, that's still saying something.
Yeah. So, are we going to do Big Hero 6 after this?
No.
We have differing thoughts on Big Hero 6. I think it's amazing. He just doesn't.
It's fine.
It's fine. Stop talking to me. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for this one.
We'll see you on part 11. We got our first 10 out of the way. We have passed the halfway mark. So thank you for participating and joining us in this journey to Infinity War. We will see you next time on Avengers Age of Ultron. The hype is real, or is it? We'll talk about it. Come find out next time. May the film be with you always.
Peace out.